Let's start our discussion. Today we are going to good morning. Today we are going to discuss the module 5, that is arch dam. We earlier discussed that gravity dam in module 4 consists of classification of dam, different forces that are acting on a gravity dam. As you know all of this, but I want to discuss with one more. The forces acting on a gravity dam are mainly weight of the dam, water pressure and uplift. Some other forces are also acting, that is earthquake forces, silt pressure, wind, wave pressure, etc. etc. Today we are going to discuss arch dam. We all know Idukki Arch Dam. It is one of Asia's biggest arch dam. Asia's biggest arch dam. The Idukki Arch Dam is a double curvature arch dam. We will discuss what is double curvature arch dam later. Constructed across Periyar River in a narrow gorge between two granite hills locally known as Kuravan and Kuratti in Kerala. It has a height of 168.91 meter, that is 544.2 feet. It is one of the highest arch dam in Asia. It is constructed and owned by the Kerala State Electricity Board. It is constructed by the aid of a Canadian government. It supports a 780 megawatt hydroelectric power station in Moolamata, which started generating power on 4th October 1975. The dam type is a concrete double curvature parabolic thin arch dam. The wordings are explanatory only after when the module is covered. This is the Idukki Arch Dam. We know that a arch dam is connected in between Kurattimala and Kuravanmala, and the forces of water is transferred to the abutment. Forces of water is transferred to the abutment of the hill. Abutments of the hill. The two sides of the arch dam is known as hill. Do you catch my point? Do you catch my point? Arch dam is just a curved beam, the end of which are restrained and the way in which load are resisted in terms of arch action. The loads of water pressure on the upstream side is transferred to the two abutments by the arch action. We know that we already discussed gravity dam transfer the weight or water pressure to its ground. In the same sense, earth dam is restricting the water pressure due to the shear strength. In arch dam, the water pressure transferred to the abutments. An arch dam may be defined as a solid wall curved in plan standing across the entire width of the river valley in a single span. This dam body is usually made of cement concrete, sometimes rubble or stone masonry. Rubble and stone masonry arch dam are absolute. Here we can see an plan, first one plan and second one section of an arch dam. The base upstream to downstream length is known as base width. Abutment to abutment width is known as arch width. The first figure you can see base width and arch width. Water resisting അല്ലെങ്കിൽ water stored section is upstream section, waterless section is downstream phase. In the second figure you can also note that base width, the top point in an arch dam, that is crest, and you can note that upstream phase height, downstream phase toe, axis of the dam, base, etc. You can note it. Here a series of horizontal and vertical horizontal arches and vertical cantilevers are shown. If a dam is said to be an arch dam, horizontal arch action and vertical cantilever action both are taking place. This wall will structurally behave partly as a cantilever retaining wall standing up from its base, and partly the load will be transferred to the end of the arch span by horizontal arch action. The arch load will thus be transferred to the side wall of the canyon, which must be strong, stable and rocky. This is figure of an arch dam. You can identify that the upstream side, convex side store water. Convex side store water.
Distance from y-axis to the center of that body is taken as known as
arch dam. The two figures I shown in just before slide, that is arch action and the cantilever action. The distribution of part of load to the side wall of the canyon reduces the load on the cantilever wall, thereby reducing the thickness as compared to that in an ordinary gravity dam, and that is the only benefit we derive from the arch dam in comparison to the gravity dam. Thickness of the arch dam is very less compared to gravity dam. Evidently the greater is
PPT view ആവുന്നില്ല.
ഇപ്പോഴോ? ഹലോ, ആദ്യം മുതലേ വ്യൂ ആവുന്നില്ലേ?
സാർ ആദ്യം തൊട്ടേ ഇല്ല.
ഓക്കെ. അപ്പം ഇത്രയും നേരം എൻ്റെ മുഖം തന്നെയാണോ നിങ്ങൾ കണ്ടോണ്ടിരുന്നത്? എൻ്റെ ഫേസ് തന്നെയാണോ നിങ്ങൾ കണ്ടുകൊണ്ടിരുന്നത്? ഹലോ,
ഇത്ര നേരം PPT view ആവുന്നില്ലായിരുന്നു.
y-axis at the extreme left point and the x-axis at the extreme bottom right. Okay. That is, if the figure is given, this figure is given, and the distribution you have to take the x-axis
ഇപ്പോഴോ ഇപ്പോ കാണാൻ പറ്റുന്നുണ്ടോ?
ഇപ്പൊ കാണാൻ പറ്റുന്നുണ്ട്.
ഓക്കെ.
from this triangle it can be divided into two equal parts to this axis. This axis is known as axis of symmetry, and in this case the symbol will lie on this axis. Okay. For the rectangle, there is two axes of symmetry. That is, can be divided into equal parts either in the either above the x-axis or either above the y-axis. So there is two axes of symmetry. Then, in that case, the symbol will lie on the point where this axis will intersect. The point of intersection. The point of intersection, that is the point of centroid.
This is a figure which I shown earlier. In this figure, we can you hear me?
If you find x bar and y bar, we have proof in that.
കേൾക്കാം സാർ.
Okay. You can see two first figure it's a plan and the second it's a section. In first figure you can see the arch width, abutment to abutment length is arch width, and downstream to upstream thickness of the dam, not the thickness of shell, the whole thickness. It is a double curvature arch dam. That total width is known as base width. In second figure, you can easily identify that the base width top marked in top base width. You can see base, toe, axis, downstream face and upstream face. This figure shows a series of horizontal arch and a series of vertical cantilever. In arch dam, the load is transferred due to this horizontal, partially by horizontal arches and partially by vertical cantilever action. This wall will structurally behave partly as a cantilever retaining wall standing up from its base, and partly the load will be transferred to the end of the arch span by horizontal arch action. The arch load will thus be transferred to the side wall of the canyon, which must be strong, stable and rocky. You know that canyon is a U-shaped valley, gorge or V-shaped valley in between the rocky hill. The distribution of part of load to the side wall of the canyon reduces the load on the cantilever wall, thereby reducing the thickness as compared to that in an ordinary gravity dam. And that is the only benefit we derive from the arch dam in comparison to gravity dam. So, arch dam have less thickness. So, the concrete used for construction of arch dam is less. When the base width of the arch dam is less, the uplift pressure acting on the arch dam is very less. Evidently, the greater is the wall curvature, you can see in plan, the greater will be the load that will be transferred to the sides of the canyon, and hence greater will be the economy on the dam thickness. This economy in dam thickness can be further increased considerably by making the dam body not only curved in plan but also curved in section. Such a non-vertical dam is known as double curvature arch dam or shell arch dam. You see first picture. This is Idukki Arch Dam. Some details of Idukki Arch Dam, and this is a figure of Idukki Arch Dam. In that, I denoted that the dam type is concrete double curvature parabolic arch dam. Concrete. It's made with concrete parabolic double curvature arch dam. We will study the double curvature, different types of arch dam later.
Intersect at the center, and the distance for x bar is equal to d by 2 and y bar is equal to d by 2.
This is the double curvature arch dam. In this, you can see that the curvature is in plan as well as in section. In plan and as well as in section, both have curvature. Different types of arch dams are constant radius arch dam, variable radius arch dam, constant angle arch dam.
Composite area. Composite area means the area that is made up of using these common shapes. That is using either one or two triangles or one or two rectangles. One rectangle, one.
Can you hear me?
One rectangle, one circle. One rectangle and one quadrangle circle. And this will become the composite area. And to find the x bar using composite area, we have to.
Depending upon the shape, the simple arch dam can be divided into three types. First one is constant radius arch dam. Second one is variable radius arch dam. Third, constant angle arch dam. Combination of first and second arch dam is the third one, constant angle arch dam. Let us discuss each one. A constant radius arch dam is an arch dam, the arch center of which for the upstream phase and the downstream phase and the central line are all coincident with the axis center at all elevations. In simple types, the upstream face is vertical so that its radius at all elevation is constant, but thickness is proportional to height. Thickness is proportional to height from the bottom. This is a figure of a constant center arch dam. Constant radius arch dam is also known as constant center arch dam. It is also known as variable angle arch dam. It is used for U-shaped valley. The valley between two hills, if it is U-shaped, constant center arch dam is suitable. It is easy in construction. Vertical, its upstream face is vertical. You can see the upstream face of this type, constant center, constant radius, variable angle arch dam. Upstream face is vertical. Downstream face is curved. Appropriate for middle height dam. Second one is variable radius arch dam. Variable radius arch dam. You can see on the upstream side, the water bearing side is an arch side, arch section. In variable radius arch dam is the one in which the radius of the extrados curve, the arch ring corresponding to upstream face, and the intrados curve, arch ring corresponding to the downstream face. Extrados is arch rings corresponding to upstream face, and intrados curves are rings corresponding to downstream phase vary at a different elevation, being maximum at the top. You know that water pressure is maximum at the top and certain minimum at its bottom. Why? Because of this arch action. This makes the central angle as large as possible so that maximum arch efficiency may be obtained at all elevations. This is a variable center arch dam or variable radius arch dam, constant angle arch dam. It is used for V-shaped valley, limited to the ratio of width to height is equal to 5. Best central angle for this type is 133 degree 34 minute to obtain arch action at the bottom part. Here you can see the U-shaped canyon and V-shaped canyon. U-shaped canyon first classification is used. V-shaped canyon second classification is used. That is, constant radius arch dam is used in U-shaped canyon, and in V-shaped canyon variable radius arch dam is used. In constant radius arch dam, the upstream face is vertical. In the case of variable radius arch dam, upstream face also curved. This is the third type, variable center, variable angle arch dam. Okay, this is combination of two of the above. Its calculation is based on shell theory. The dam is considered as a shell and design is done according to shell theory. We can move to another topic, forces on arch dam. We already studied that gravity dam have several forces such as water pressure, self-weight, uplift, silt pressure, ice pressure, earthquake, wind, wave, etc. etc. The forces in arch dam are same except uplift pressure. Uplift is negligible in case of arch dam. Uplift is negligible in case of arch dam. This is asked in previous exams. Design methods for arch dam. The following are the sum of theories for the design of arch dam. First theory is thin cylinder theory, very important. The elastic theory and trial load analysis. First theory is very important, and many time derivations are asked from the first theory. This is the description of thin cylinder theory. We can see that in this the arch is, this is first theory. In this, the arch is considered as a thin cylinder. Water pressure act, you can see in figure, water pressure act in convex side of the thin cylinder. WH, gamma WH is the water pressure. What pressure intensity act on this arch dam, that is force acting on the arch dam is water pressure, that is WH. You can see that P is equal to 2R sin theta by 2 into WH. W is the unit weight of water, H is the corresponding height at a particular section. WH is the pressure intensity. P is equal to W, small p is equal to WH. Capital PH is the pressure force acting on the thin cylinder. Okay, pressure force is pressure intensity into area. Area is length r sin theta on both sides of the curve. That is 2r sin theta, that is the length, into unit height in unit thickness into WH. 2r sin theta is the length, unit thickness is considered, and pressure intensity is W into H. The same thing, PH is equal to 2r sin theta into 1 into WH is discussed till this slide. That is equation number Latin letter 2. Equation number Latin letter 2. It is transferred by arch action. We know that the arch dam transfer load to its abutment by arch action. The whole load from the water is transferred to the two sides of the abutment. Half load is transferred to one abutment, half load is transferred to other abutment. This shown in the equation 3. The same force, water pressure, is transferred to the two sides. So the remaining is cancelled. We get R is equal to WHR. What is R? R is the reaction from the abutment. Reaction from the abutment. You can see in figure, from both sides there is a reaction. That reaction is omega HR, WHR, or gamma WHR. Equation number 3. Stress developed in the abutment, that is compressive stress induced in the arch at the abutment, we get R divided by T into unit length. This is for unit length. So R is WHR divided by thickness of the thin cylinder. So the thickness of thin cylinder is WHR divided by F. This is the expression for thickness of the arch dam. It is many times asked in university exams. Next topic is central angle for minimum concrete. We already said that arch dam is more economical than gravity dam. Arch dam is very economical by using particular curvature. That curvature value is theta is equal to 133 degree 34 minute. This can be solved and get we will get theta is equal to 133 degree 34 minute. This is the most economical angle. This is the most. In actual practice, theta varies between 100 to 140. Most economical angle is 133 degree 34 minute. We can identify that thickness is proportional to height. Thickness is proportional to R from the equation 9.1, which is shown in your slide. That is 9.1. The same is discussed in this slide. T proportional to radius of curvature, T proportional to water depth. Upon solving, area is related to T and R. So volume of the concrete required is R into theta into A proportional to thickness proportional to radius of curvature. So we can calculate V as R theta into KR. We can calculate R is L by 2 sine theta, we can calculate V for minimum volume of concrete. We can use dou V by dou theta is equal to 0. Upon solving, we will get theta is equal to 133 degree 34 minute. This is the most economical central angle for an arch dam.
By x to the center of this section, we know that with this 2 and the center of distance is b by 2, that is 2 by 2, that will be equal to 1 centimeter. Therefore, the third section, x bar equal
Hi everyone. Are you catch my point? Do you have any doubt?
distance from the
Do you have any doubt?
to the center of the rectangle, this rectangle.
Please comment in your comment box.
4 a divided by 2, that will be equal to
Are you satisfied with my teaching?
that is this 4. Okay, next we have to find the this y bar, so that we have to find the distance from the x-axis.
If you have any doubt, you can ask.
For each section, as we consider the first section, and the distance from the x-axis is that.
You can unmute your voice, microphone. You can discuss anything with me.
For the second section, we have to find the distance from here to the center of this section. Find the center of this section. The distance will become the section is only up to this. The section is only up to this. So, to find the center, we have to take the distance from here. First, we have to add 2.
Do you have any doubt?
Then plus the distance from here to the center, that is 20 divided by 2, that will be equal to 10. So the distance will become 12 centimeter. Okay. And to find the central distance over of the third section,
We can see
y3, we have to
tomorrow.
find the distance from this x-axis to the center.
Okay,
of
bye
the
bye.
section. For that, we have to add this 2, then this 20, then 2 by 2. That is 2 of this section, 20 of this section, plus the center